What's up guys, Dylan here from Custom Artisan Company. For the longest time I've gotten requests to show a little bit more in-depth process on how I build the roses, how I paint the roses, and that's exactly what this is. This is the first episode in a new mini-series called Watch Me Work that I'll release every Monday, showing the latest and greatest custom artwork that I've been doing.
All right, let's get it. First step is welding the base to the stem. It gives a solid platform to weld the rest of the pieces to. Otherwise, I run the risk of it coming out sloppy or lopsided, and let's face it, ain't nobody got time for that. Next, we move on to forming the base. I use just a couple random bends to give some style and some dimension. After the base is done, we move on to the actual bloom itself. I developed this 3-layer design where each layer of petals is welded to the one below it, making it super strong and giving me some creative freedom by orienting them in different ways. I've been using this method for a couple years now, and it's always worked out quite well. Alright, moving on with forming the individual petals. This is where things really start coming along pretty quickly, and fortunately I have a couple different patterns I can choose from to get the specific look that I'm after. When I first started doing these in 2015, I'd absolutely kill my wrist doing this, so I actually modified a pair of pliers to make it a little easier and a more consistent final product. And after a couple more minutes of that, we end up with our final shape of the rose, which is ready for paint. At this point, we just take our blue painter's tape to mask off the base since we're going to be airbrushing this design. I don't want to get any of the paint on the stem or on the base since it's super hard to clean off once it's cured. One last step before we're ready to get to the painting is we actually have to open the rose back up so we can make sure that the paint gets inside and we have a consistent coverage all the way through. Earlier this year, I found myself deep in thought, wondering how I could bring more value to my customers. So I decided to create what I call the custom shop service, which is a service beyond my standard range of roses where customers can submit their own designs and their ideas and have them delivered in premium quality. Because of that, nothing is really off limits, and this particular design was requested as a memorial piece for a loved one who unfortunately passed away but loved Batman. So we're going to finish this rose with a gold-leafed Batman logo and a matte black background. First, let's load up the airbrush with some Createx Wicked Black and start laying down the base coat. This color is really deep and rich, which will make the rest of the design really pop. Now that we got the base laid down, I go one step further and clean the paint off the edges of the petals very carefully to add just a little more contrast. This is a super critical point of the finishing process, as one wrong move while the paint is still wet and I'll have to start completely over. Next, we import our Batman logo into the stencil machine and get ready to lay down the gold leaf. recently picked up a new Cricut Air 2, which has really sped up the process of intricate design work. I used to spend all my time cutting, drawing, designing by hand, which I still do from time to time. This just makes life a little easier. Now that the machine is done with the stencil, I'll use this to apply the gold adhesive in the next step. Gold leafing is usually where things go wrong for me, and fast. Gold leaf is only a couple microns thick, so it's extremely fragile, tears easy, and it static clings to just about anything. If you look at it the wrong way, it'll break apart. And I can't tell you how many times I've ruined pieces at this point, especially since there's no way to go back on a mistake. But luckily this one went really smooth. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a very good shot of the minor details without my hands getting in the way, but you get the idea. Now that we've got the design and paint finished, we can move forward and finish the stem design. From here, we add our stainless steel leaves and weld on our thorns, with the last step being a little shaping on the stem. there you have it, one custom shop rose by Custom Artisan Company. Stay tuned for more in-depth videos being released every Monday.